Hey everyone, welcome back to Sunny Preps. This video, like my basket of tomatoes, took several days to go ahead and gather, and I'm finally getting it together. It's neighbor's dog. I'm going to go ahead and collect a few tomatoes before I have to get ready to go to work. It is nice and cool this morning. It was 54 when I woke up this morning, and we're still in August, so that's really unusual. Enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope your gardens are going at least as well as mine. I'm finally making it somewhere with my tomatoes and getting some nice red tomatoes. Enjoy. Okay, so here are my tomatoes. These are, that's as high as I could possibly reach. And I am 5'8", and in my shoes I might be 5'9". And look at this. This beauty is finally starting to turn. It's mid-August. It's finally starting to turn. It's a little funky underneath. Ugh, that upsets me so much. I've got tons of tomatoes. Tons of tomatoes, but they're all still green. I've gotten one or two that are blushing. Now these are the Amish pastes, and they are not as big, but I think that's because they're all in these little pots. I think I talked about this the other day. These are the Brandywines, and they are just going crazy. But each grow bag has 3 stems. And so some of them are being supported by this trellis that I made already. And some of them are just flopping over the fence. And so they're starting to droop. So I'm going to put together another trellis and try to support them better and keep them up. And it's really easy. I've already started one of these. So these furring strips were $1 a piece. So that's why I got these. And I just use my circular saw to cut points in the bottom. And I screwed on blocks that I can use this to hammer into the ground. The ground's pretty soft around here. And so I didn't worry too much about these screws needing washers, because these furring strips are so thin that the screws will split them. You can see this is starting to split, but I'm just going to pound this into the ground. And another one, actually, one of these split right off while I was pounding it, but I already had it in firmly. So I've got another one of these on this side, and I've put, now up here where we're going to have a little more stress, I did use washers, even though these are just deck screws, but I used the washer to help distribute the strain on this thin little piece of wood, and it seemed to really help. The first one I tried to make really fell apart. And so I can get my camera to focus on this. These are just some washers I had laying around. They're square. I really don't know what they came off of, but they were just scrap from something. And so this block is there just to help support the beam that is going to go across from one of these to the other. And originally I was going to connect this side with this side and have something going across the top, but I really don't think I need that, and so I'm not even going to worry about that anymore. But one thing I did learn, sorry I'm jerking you around really fast here, is I cannot reach from here over to this upright. So even if I stand in the middle and reach as far as I can from one to the other, I can't hold them both at the same time, and that made it very awkward to try to get into place. So this time I'm going to make them close enough together that I can reach both posts at the same time and position them into place where I want them, and then I can just drive it into the ground. Now, as you see here, I did let a little bit stick out the end, and I've tied I tied the strings down from the top to support the tomatoes on the strings, and they're doing pretty well. If I had gotten to this a lot earlier while the tomatoes were still much smaller, I think it would have been better all around. So that is definitely one piece of wisdom I'm harvesting this year. Have enough support for the tomatoes and have it in place early. So I'll go ahead and get started on this, and I'll catch you up while I'm working, as I go along. Okay, everybody, I have it assembled now, and I'm wearing the fan that my daughter gave me. It makes it a lot more comfortable to work out here in this heat. And now I'm going to carry it to just inside the fence. You can see here how the tomatoes are drooping over the fence, and they're starting to go back down the other side. This is why I'm putting this up, the second trellis up here, is so we can support these and they don't just droop over the fence. Now I have to get it in place. I'm trying to get to the fence without damaging any tomatoes, but of course they're really thick in here. Now into the ground a little bit, and I can tie it off to the fence also, so that it'll be more stable. I'm going to get the other side in a little bit before I keep pounding that side in. Starting to crack. Are you recording?
Oh. Yes,
okay.
I am.
So now I'm going to just zip tie this to the fence to help support it. And if I really feel like it needs to, I can go ahead and support it at the top again too.
Oh.
And I'll be tying the jute from the top bar down to the fence and securing it there, and then lifting all these tomatoes onto their support. Now you can. So there is just way too much going on in here. See, I can't even hardly get to the wood or the fence to try to tie the jute on. And so as I'm coming in here trying to clear off the suckers and some of the extra leaves, the song that keeps going through my mind is "Welcome to the Jungle." No, I'm not going to sing it for you because, yeah, you don't want that. Okay guys, I worked on this until it got just completely dark. I worked on it. The only reason I could see anything at all was because of the light on the garage. And I really cleaned out a lot of the leaves. I'm hoping that will help things turn ripe. Now we have that one still. I didn't pick it, but I think I need to go ahead and pick it. It does have some bad spots in the middle. And even the ones that I hung previously there needs to be some improvement on what's going on. And then I ran out of space. I might be able to get one more string on that to help this one but it split when I tried to pick it up, and so I just wanted to leave it and not manipulate it anymore, because both this side and that shoots off that direction have tomatoes on them, so I don't want to lose them all. So I might not be today, because I need to deal with the jungle that is back here and behind that, and then over behind this, and it kind of feels like it's going to rain. But I may use the rest of my furring strips. I have it. Should have at least 4 more, but one of them split, to make another trellis across this way. But that looks so much better than that insane mess I had before. Look, you can actually see through the bottom of them now. And I'm going to do a little bit of work on this and then move to the back of the back. And that's, I don't know, maybe I'll let that get right. It's still really, well, parts of it are soft. That's what I get for not knowing what I'm doing. This one's starting to blush a little. That's huge. Look at that. That is huge. Well, I'm finally starting to get ripe tomatoes, and it's August 22nd now. I'll show you one more quick shot before I actually get this edited and ready. All kinds of things starting to blush here. The tomatoes are looking so much better, so much under control. The tomatoes are actually getting sunlight. I actually had to tighten some of the jute and re-elevate some of those. This thing's starting to fall over. Looks like maybe it needs to be reinforced, but I think I finally have a handle on these. See, some Amish paste down at the other end are starting to ripen as well. I still have some tying up to do. This one is drooping onto the ground. It was one of the ones in the bucket, but had to be rescued from a different location. So I got home from work last night. I had to make a couple other stops, so by the time I got home it was starting to get dark. I still haven't gotten anything done with the jungle back there, but I did get some of this cleared up, and you can see we're starting to ripen here. I'll definitely be picking tomatoes when I get home again this evening. So doing a lot of the core and score method that then gets put into the freezer until I have time to make sauce, which might be after I get the rental property completely underway. And look at these peppers. Oh, we're gonna have some more peppers. I love peppers. There's a couple down here. Oh, something munching on that one. And there's 2 more in there. As I was doing my cleanup, I found that I am getting tomato hornworms. And I understand that these little white things on top are wasp eggs. This is disgusting. I'm definitely getting the black light flashlight to help me get rid of them. Well, as you can see, I'm finally making it somewhere with my tomatoes, and I have learned a ton this year already. If anybody has any tips that you think might make it even better next year, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I don't know if late August is the normal time for my area. I'm around the Pittsburgh area. Or if it's just because I am on the north side of a mountain and the tomatoes are on the north side of the house. So maybe that makes them even later than normal. But we're finally getting tomatoes, and it'll probably be a while before I have time to make sauce, so they'll be in the freezer for a while, but I am definitely going to make a video on making sauce. I've been studying up online to see how to do it, maybe even the paste. I saw a way that they do that in Italy, and I don't think I can quite master that, but the paste will take up less room in my prepper pantry, and maybe even some tomato powder. I've seen them dehydrated and then ground into tomato powder, and that makes a lot of sense. So stay tuned for more garden and more tomato and more prepping updates. But in the meantime, while I was holding the trellis, I said I'm wearing the fan my daughter gave me, and you couldn't really see it, I realized, when I got the video and was looking at it, sort of editing. My daughter gave me this fan, and you can point it up to yourself while you're working, and I thought it would be really annoying, and it wasn't that bad actually, and it was a really humid evening that I was working on this, and if nothing else, it kept the mosquitoes away from my face. They still got my ankles and my arms, but there's a button back here. It's rechargeable through micro USB, and there's a button back here, and if you hold on to it for a minute, it turns on. I don't know if you guys can hear that. And then if you just press it quickly, it cycles through different speeds. And it seems like such a silly gadget, and I kind of laughed when she gave it to me, but it's actually pretty nice. So I have no idea where she got it, somewhere online. Maybe she's been doing a lot of shopping on Wish, but a lot of their things had to be returned, so I'm not sure I really recommend that website, but this was pretty cool. I'm just sitting here the last few minutes before I have to go to work, enjoying the fairly quiet morning and the view of the garden. I hear the birds chirping in the background. So if you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe and like and share with anybody you think might find it entertaining to see me going through my learning curve. So I want you to remember, no matter how dire the news sounds right now, the sun is still shining. We still have time. We can still make hay while the sun shines. We still have time to fix the roof before it really starts raining. So start getting ready now, because we know what's coming. And always keep smiling, because a rainy day is no match for a sunny disposition. I'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.